Okay, so this is a story that's recently hit the headlines, and it's really sickening. It's not Gaza this time, it's in Ukraine, but still the same kind of shit is happening. It's a children's hospital in Kiev, which has been hit by missiles as Russia unleashes deadly barrage across Ukraine, killing at least 31. So the attack on Kiev is part of a wider Russian strike across Ukraine, which has also left almost 130 injured, as President Volodymyr Zelensky warned there are people trapped under the rubble at the children's hospital. So it's not just any old hospital, it's a children's hospital. Yeah, I'm not going to watch that clip. So a children's hospital in Kiev has been hit by missiles as Russia unleashed a deadly barrage across Ukraine. The attack is the biggest bombardment of the Ukrainian capital for several months, officials said. Yeah, so this has been going on for a couple of years now, the Ukraine war. I mean, yeah, the war. It is part of a wider strike across Ukraine that has left at least 36 dead and around 130 others injured, according to the Interior Ministry. Yeah, look at it. It's all completely got collapsed. So as you can see, these are the places that's being targeted. Kiev, don't know how you pronounce that, Dnipro, Pokrovsk, and I can't, there's so many consonants. Kryvyi are among the cities targeted in the Russian attack. Sorry if I butchered that. Kiev targeted. In Kiev, at least 9 people have been killed and 33 others injured in the initial attack, which struck the, whatever that says, Children's Hospital, Ukraine's biggest children's medical facility. Images appear to show young cancer patients, oh my god, cancer patients, so just little kids, who've been evacuated from the hospital with their parents. The hospital suffered severe damage from the attack, and some parents were in tears as they left the hospital, holding their children. We heard an explosion, then we showered with debris, said Svetlana Kravchenko. Her 2-month-old baby was unharmed, thank fuck for that, but she had suffered cuts and her car was buried under the rubble of a destroyed building. It was scary. I couldn't breathe. I was trying to cover my baby. I was trying to cover him with just cloth so that he could breathe, she said. So what's this? So this is a little analysis thing. Deborah Haynes, Security and Defense Editor. Military insiders have been expecting Vladimir Putin to launch some kind of new attack against Ukraine ahead of a NATO summit in Washington this week to dominate the agenda. Monday's barrage of missile strikes will feed the fears of some lawmakers within allied countries that Kiev cannot win and to be pressured into accepting some kind of peace agreement, given that Russia is showing no sign of retreat. At the same time, the devastating bombardment, which hit the main Ukrainian children's hospital where some of the most poorly boys and girls are being treated, will also amplify Ukraine's demand for more air defense weapons to defend its skies and more lethal weapons to take the fight to Russia by striking more targets inside the Russian mainland. As well as the attack on Ukraine, there have also been fears that Moscow could attempt a covert, deniable assault against a NATO member state. Which one? Ahead of a Washington summit, such as a cyber attack against critical infrastructure, again to demonstrate its willingness to violate global rules and norms, also to test NATO's responses. But yeah, the mayor of the Ukrainian capital, Vitaly Klitschko, okay, told Sky News he could not give an exact number for the number of children who were killed or injured in the strike on the hospital, because a lot of people are under the rubble. Rescuers are working at the scene, searching for survivors under partially collapsed wing of a facility. Mr. Klitschko even said that Mr. Putin was not carrying out a war against Ukraine. No, he's not. It's more than that. And instead, Moscow's actions amount to a genocide of Ukrainian population. Yet, I think, just like what Israel is doing against the Palestinians, the same exact thing. I think. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky also said earlier those were the people under the rubble of a partially destroyed hospital. The United Nations Security Council will meet on Tuesday at the request of Britain, France, Ecuador, Slovenia, and the United States over the attack on the children's medical facility, diplomat said. Yeah, we need to meet as well about Gaza. Anyway, back to this. We will call out Russia's cowardly and depraved attack on the hospital, Britain's UN ambassador Barbara Woodward said in a Twitter post on Monday. Debris from a latest site Russian rocket attack, also in Kiev, killed a further 4 people and injured others as it damaged another medical centre, the city's authorities said. The Kiev Medical Military Administration said a multi-storey centre was struck in the city's eastern Dnipro district. As you can see here, so it looks like it's been all the windows smashed up. Hypersonic attack. The daylight attacks included Kinzhal hypersonic missiles, whatever that means, one of the most advanced Russian weapons, the Ukrainian Air Force said. The Kinzhal flies at 10 times the speed of sound, making it hard to intercept. Of the 38 Russian missiles launched, the Ukrainian Air Force said it had down 30 of them, and Mr. Zelensky vowed to retaliate. City buildings shook from the blasts, and Mr. Zelensky said Russia had targeted 5 cities in total, with more than 40 missiles of different types. In a post on social media, Mr. Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, accused Russia of deliberately targeting children. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. It's a children's hospital, and it's mostly going to be children. 3 of Kiev's electricity substations and electricity grids were also damaged. Ukraine's largest private energy producer, DTEK, had said. This is in line with the Kremlin's wider attack tactic of targeting Ukraine's infrastructure to bring the country to its knees. At least 10 people have been killed, and 37 included in the city of Kryvyi Rih in the Dnipro region. Serhiy Lysak, governor of the region, said that 1 person had died, and 6 others were also injured in Dnipro city after it was struck in Russia's major attack. 1 of the injured people was in a serious condition, he added. Vadim Flashkin, governor of the eastern Donetsk region, said that at least 3 people have been killed in the city of Pokrovsk. Mr. Zelensky said that he expects the NATO summit in Washington on Tuesday to provide specific steps to strengthen his country's air defences against Russia following the strikes. Okay. The Ukrainian president met with Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk in Warsaw to discuss further support for Ukraine from NATO. Donald Tusk, I thought he was American. Anyway, as well as signing a bilateral cooperation and defence document. He said, I can see a possibility for our partners to use their air defence systems in a way to hit the missiles that are carrying out attacks on our country. Okay. Leaders at the NATO summit are expected to discuss ways of providing reliable long-term security aid and military training for Ukraine more than 2 years after Russia's full-scale invasion. It comes as UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned the barrage of Russian strike on Monday. His spokesperson Stefan Dujarric said, Mr. Guterres found the attack on the children's hospital and another medical facility particularly shocking, Mr. Dujarric said. Of course, it's shocking, it's disgusting. He added, directing attacks against civilians and civilian objects is prohibited by international humanitarian law. It would be against international law. But they don't give a fuck, do they, Russia or Israel? And any such attacks are unacceptable and must end immediately. Ukrainian prosecutor General Andrei Kostin said that he discussed Monday's attacks with the International Criminal Court (ICC) prosecutor Karim Khan. We are sending all information and evidence about attacks on Kiev and other Ukrainian cities to the ICC's prosecutors obviously told national television in Ukraine. Yeah, he needs to be done for war crimes. Like we do with Netanyahu, do it with Putin as well. Don't trust or believe Putin, said Poroshenko. Meanwhile, the former president of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, said that the latest attack on Kiev was disastrous, and it showed how Mr. Putin could not be trusted. How could he be trusted in the first place? He told Sky News, "This is just a demonstration of how ready Putin is for the ceasefire of the peace." He's not ready for any ceasefire. What are you going on about? Putin doesn't want a ceasefire. This is my appeal. Don't trust Putin. Don't believe Putin. Ahead of the NATO summit, Mr. Poroshenko added, if you want to stop the war, it would be true membership of NATO. Okay, I know about that. One single word we are waiting for. This word is invitation. This is definitely in the interest of all member states in NATO. In the aftermath of the attacks, Russian Defense Ministry claimed its forces had carried out strikes on defense industry targets and aviation bases. They denied they had targeted civilians and alleged Ukrainian anti-aircraft missiles launched to repel the attack had caused the damage instead. They also noted the timing of the incident ahead of a NATO summit. Also, on Monday morning, one civilian was said to have been killed in Russia's Belgorod region due to Ukrainian shelling, according to the local governor. 3 others were also injured and taken to hospital. Governor, I don't even know how to say that, Gladkov said. Yeah, that's really bad, that is. And speaking of NATO, I'm not sure if that's good or bad because I know a lot of socialism, they want to withdraw from NATO, but is NATO a good thing or a bad thing? I need more information on that. And Nigel Farage, he's recently saying, "Oh, that the West is to blame for the Ukraine war." Yeah, I don't know to extent, but yeah, Putin, he's really bad anyway. He needs to be removed completely. Yeah, this is really bad. And Starmer, he's right to condemn this, but where's his condemnation of all the Gaza stuff? Anyway, that's the news for this. This is really bad. And yeah, Putin, he needs removing. Netanyahu needs removing, as all of these other far right people. Wars going on in the world. It's shocking.